property of cokeandguns.biz, and the following. Is still recording? How do I turn this? Oh, okay.
Why does top-level society hate skateboarding so much? We don't hate skateboarding. Let me tell you a story, okay? We were the ones who found the Maplewood Forest in Canada, where all the maple comes from for skateboards. The problem is, we're about to run out. Come 2020, we ain't gonna have no more skateboard wood left in Canada. So my job was to come down here, find this idiot, calls himself the Stairmaster. I gotta get this kid to represent the new skateboarding that was invented back in 1908. My name is Carlos. C-A-R-L-O-S. I'm from Colombia. I come from a long line of Colombians. Some may say we're drug lords, but I like to think of us as entrepreneurs. All of us are professional. Our last name is wiped from the face of history. We spent $10 million eliminating the entire line. $50 billion later, in a skateboard industry that is failing, we have decided to bring back skateboarding bigger than ever.
Who invented Skateboard Co? Who invented Skateboard Co?
I actually invented skateboarding back in 1908. Yes, 1908. But I just didn't have any money to build a big sport around it, so I lost it. I did start a company called Top because I thought dreidels were cool. And now, after having severe insomnia for over 100 years, really, Top Level Society Corporation decided to bring back skateboarding, and so here I am, just trying to bring the sport back. It gets kind of lonely out here sometimes, and because I'm pretty much the only skateboarder in this area that I know of. And I always have to tell people, I don't skateboard, I skateboard. And they're like, well, aren't they the same thing? And I'm like, no. Sk8bored, Sk8bored, that's mine. And I called it that because I have 8 wheels on my skates. As you can see here, I have 2 feet, 4 wheels on each foot, so that's 8. So Sk8. My favorite model of Mercedes, by the way, is the SK, which is like a bulldozer, and I just skateboard all the time, really. I mean, I try to invent tricks, but a lot of other people did that too, that had more money than me and more exposure. So unfortunately, I just skateboard around alone and smoke 305 cigars, filtered, that I get free from the bartender down the street. Leah, she has this compassion for me that most bartenders don't have, and she just hooks me up. So thanks, Leah. And thank you, Top Level Society Corporation, for giving me this opportunity to bring back skateboard in a way that I think is the best way to do it. I know you guys have a lot of money. And top level actually came to me and they said, John, what do you want to do as far as your craft that we know you invented it. We did our research. You know, it's been buried. It's actually in the Library of Congress that I was the first guy to skateboard. They're like, what do you want to do? And I said, I just want to make a shirt that says skateboard on it. And so that's the plan. They said, if you can sell 10 shirts that say skateboard, we're gonna give you a big signing deal. I think they said of like $1,000, and that's a lot of money. You know, in 1908, the things you could do with $1,000, the sky was the limit back then. So really the question I had to ask myself, is it worth it? You know, I'm over 100 years old now. Is it worth it for me to come back to skateboarding, you know, where I started all when I was like 14, 15 at the time? And the answer, you know, I slept on it for several weeks. I really had to think about it. I like to kind of, anytime I have an idea, you know, I like to let it roll around in my head before I just jump on it and say, here I go with this idea. Maybe that's been my downfall all these years, but finally I just said, you know what, we're gonna do this. Let's do this top level. Let's bring skateboarding back, and let's bring it back bigger than ever. Let's get all the people on board that we can worldwide. Let's make this our new thing. I really told him, I can't emphasize enough how much I think skateboarding can become big again. And so that's what's going on. 2018, you know, 110 years later, we're taking skateboarding and we're gonna make it big. We're gonna really make it as big as possible. We may even, you know, get a competition where we can pay the winner $100. I mean, universe willing. I don't know. It's not even up to me. Never really was. I talked to Tony Hawk about it, and he keeps telling me that, John, understand that you're broke and that you don't have any money and you don't have any friends. You just have this corporation that, you know, figured out who you really are and what skateboarding really is. He's like, but we've come so far. You know, there's kids that don't even know what skateboarding is wearing Vans. And I said to that, you know what, Tony? Don't worry about it, dude. You did a great thing with skateboarding. Leave skateboarding up to me. Leave it up to me, Tony. That's what I told him. I said, leave it up to me, Tony. And I'll admit, man, I look around 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm just like, where'd everybody go? What happened, man? What happened to skateboarding? And I just don't have the answer. You know, I never really did. Like I said, I had amnesia all this time too. I don't even know what happened to about 90% of my life. You know, sometimes I think it could have been a woman. I might have gotten lost in the glitz and glamour of it all. I don't think it was drugs. I hope it wasn't drugs. I certainly don't condone the use of any drugs whatsoever. Nor do I support them in any way, shape, or form. But unfortunately, people do give me drugs a lot, and I just can't say, I want to say no. You know, my body says no, but it's like the spirit inside of me says, okay. Does that make sense? Okay. You're giving me like a thumbs down. Are you saying like as a corporation that doesn't make sense, or as you telling me what to say that doesn't make sense? Okay, yeah, from a company standpoint, it probably doesn't make sense. But from a personal standpoint, I think everyone has a vice. And unfortunately, mine, I believe, you know, from what I've seen in videos, mine may have been drugs. I'm not really sure. You know, if it was, I'm sorry to whoever I influenced in the wrong way. I've never broken a rule in my entire life. Like, I obey every single rule there is. I'm pretty much one of the most perfect people to ever walk the planet, as far as I know. I could be wrong there. That Jeff Bezos guy, he seems pretty perfect. So is that Elon Muskrat. Those guys seem pretty perfect to me, but I consider myself like right up there with them, you know, like right at the top level. Yeah. But we are an American company, so you know, we do follow like all the rules like perfectly, and I think that's a great thing about Top Level, is that like we're gonna keep going with this, and who knows where we're gonna end up, man. I could end up back in a ditch somewhere, a dumpster, parking garage, wherever, man. Like, as long as I can get like a solid like 4 or 5 hours of sleep somewhere, I'm cool with it, you know. Like, I live in Florida, bro. I can sleep anywhere, man.
T-shirt coming sometime.